Good afternoon and welcome to the University of Westminster. Today we're going to give you a brief insight into the two different courses within the bioscience area in the Department of Life Sciences. We're going to talk to you about Applied Biotechnology and also our MSc in Pharmacology. So we're going to give you a brief introduction to the university, give you an idea of some of the areas that we cover within our courses, and more importantly, we're going to give you the opportunity to read some of the statements from our graduates and give you an indication of the kind of careers that they go on to once they graduate from our university. So these are two of the main areas that we focus on. So at the top here we have our fermentation unit. So this is an industrial scale fermentation unit that is often used in the biotechnology area, and Godfrey will go into a lot more details regarding that. On the right hand side you're looking at our MetiMan. This is our human patient simulator. So in this model here we're able to mimic different physiological conditions, and this will be part of your training within our course in MSc Pharmacology. We're able to make this MetiMan a man or a woman, old or young, different disease states, and what we're able to do is look in real time at different physiological measurements such as heart rate and respiratory rate in this individual. More importantly, we're also able to administer drugs and look at the therapeutic administration of these and how the patient responds to them in real time. So why should you come to the University of Westminster? Well, we pride ourselves on the fact that we offer internationally leading researchers. We have colleagues such as Ipsita Roy, who's recently won over £1 million of research income from the European Union. Professor Jimmy Bell, who's one of our leading researchers looking at metabolic diseases and KTPs with industrial partners. And Stelios Moschos, who was recently awarded over £600,000 from the Wellcome Trust for his Ebola check to try and come up with a diagnostic tool for identifying Ebola in Africa. Looking at some of the other facilities we pride ourselves that we have excellent support services. We offer a personal tutoring scheme to individuals so that every student that comes to our university gets a personal tutor. This is your port of call. This is your opportunity to come and speak to us about your academic performance, but also more importantly about your careers and any concerns that you have. We also have good support units from our careers advice unit, just down the road at 101, and also from IT. Our MSCs tend to have more smaller classes, so you may be used to being taught in groups of 400 people. Our MSCs tend to focus normally in the region of 10 to 20 class members, and this gives you an opportunity to work in small groups, but also more importantly to build up the confidence of asking questions. And we realise that every student learns at different rates and in different styles. Leading on from that, we've invested quite a lot of money in modern facilities. We've got state-of-the-art laboratories, and we've recently invested quite a lot of money in a new generation sequencer. We also have industrial scale fermentation units, and I mentioned earlier the use of this human patient simulator that is often found in medical schools. We also give the opportunity, depending on the courses that you choose, to visit our industrial partners and also to attend our guest speaker seminar series that every MSc student is invited to. So what other advantages do we have? I guess our location is one of the greatest ones. We're in the centre of London, and as I'm speaking to you at the moment, I'm sitting somewhere underneath the BT Tower, looking at the screen. But this gives you an idea of the location. We're about 10 minutes from Oxford Street, we're about 10 minutes from Regent's Park, and we have campuses located opposite Madame Tussauds and also on Regent Street. So you're right in the centre of one of the most diverse cities in the world. So you've got an excellent chance to discover a wonderful city and also meet some fantastic people as well. So our courses tend to run from September to August. They're 1 year full-time, and if you're part of the European Union, you can undertake it as a part-time course. We want to clarify that we don't offer in life sciences a January admission, so it's purely from September to August. And our courses cost, for home student EU, £9,500 a year, whereas for international it's £13,500. We do offer discounts for alumni students, and also please take an opportunity to look at the scholarships page, where a number of scholarships are available to first class students for undertaking our MScs. So now I'd like to pass you over to Godfrey, who's going to tell you some more about the biotechnology course.
Okay, thanks Steve. The MSc in Applied Biotechnology aims to produce graduates with sufficient knowledge in biotechnology, sufficient research skills, and sufficient transferable skills to enable them to make important contributions in the biosciences and related sectors. The program also enables students to explore specialist subject interests via the many option modules available, and I'll be talking about these later on. In order to be admitted to the course, applicants need to be proficient in English, and we require an average IELTS score of 6.5 with a minimum of 6.0 in each of the elements: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Please note that we do not accept TOEFL scores, and the IELTS scores should not be more than 2 years old at the time an application is made. We prefer applicants with at least a lower second in a biological sciences discipline or a related degree. Applications are made via the UK Pass website. All you have to do is fill in an application form, which includes a personal statement, upload 2 references, your academic transcript, as well as your English language test scores. Please note that as long as English is not your mother tongue, you need to provide IELTS scores. The MSc in Applied Biotechnology program is divided into core modules and option modules. Core modules are compulsory and include applied molecular biology, fermentation technology, industrial and environmental biotechnology, science, technology and commercialization, postgraduate research methods, and the project module. Option modules include molecular bioinformatics, systems biology, communicating science, and molecular and cellular therapeutics. Students select 2 option modules if they take a normal project, which lasts 8 weeks full-time. Alternatively, if a student prefers the extended version of the project, which lasts 12 weeks full-time, then only 1 option module is required. The course is one of its kind in the UK, as it includes a unique combination of molecular biosciences as well as bioprocess engineering. Staff are experienced and approachable. We have links with industry, and students are taken on industrial visits. A wide range of option modules is available. Project areas are diverse and cover all branches of biotechnology. Students are given extra tutorials to enhance their technical and transferable skills. Students also get an opportunity to present their research findings as poster presentations. Examples of project areas are included on these slides, and as you can see, they cover all areas of biotechnology. Topics are normally suggested by a member of staff, but if an applicant has a suggested area of investigation, that can also be accommodated. Practical skills developed in the course include cell culture, recombinant DNA technology, bioprocessing and scale-up methods, bioinformatics techniques, research methods, as well as transferable skills such as problem solving, communication skills, and others. I would like now to pass you over to Steve to introduce the MS in Pharmacology.
Okay, so thank you, Godfrey, for giving us an insight into biotechnology. So within the Pharmacology department, we're interested in trying to understand how you take an initial idea, develop it, and get that drug onto the market. And to do that, you're going to have to understand the basics of pharmacology, trying to understand the different in vitro and in vivo techniques that you would utilize to develop a drug, but also need to focus more on the future, which is going to be personalised medicine and pharmacogenomics. And we cover this within some of our modules. We also have to look at toxicology and how we can ensure that our drug is safe. What we also try to develop within you is autonomous learning and research skills. We want you to become independent thinkers. We want you to come up with your own ideas and to drive your own research and understanding of these areas. So as Godfrey alluded to with respect to qualifications, it's pretty much the same for our department. The only difference is that we would look for a degree in pharmacology, physiology or biochemistry, or a closely related degree such as biomedicine. And what we would be looking for on those transcripts would be evidence that you'd undertaken a module during your undergraduate course with respect to physiology or pharmacology. So we look at this course as either trying to develop your pharmacological skills as a newcomer, so if you've undertaken biochemistry, or to enhance them with respect to if you've done your first degree in pharmacology or physiology. So we have a series of core and optional modules, and on the left hand side we have our core modules. So we have principles of pharmacology and drug discovery. So this gives you the basic areas of what pharmacology is about. We try to take you through areas of structural biology, the different techniques used in the drug discovery process, and more importantly the ideas of taking that drug from an initial idea and putting it onto the market. With respect to molecular pharmacology and pharmacogenomics, here we're looking at a personalised medicine approach. So this is going to be the future of drug discovery. And then we move on to the areas of computational biology, such as molecular bioinformatics, and looking at sequence prediction, and also molecular modelling, whereas our toxicology looks at the metabolism of drugs and also the pharmacodynamic profiles of these compounds. As Godfrey alluded to as well, you have the option of taking a 8-week project or a more extended 12-week project if you want to enhance those research skills. With respect to the optional modules, you've got kind of two choices to go down. You can either go down a more pure pharmacology route, where you would undertake courses in immunopharmacology, looking at disease areas such as rheumatoid arthritis and asthma, and looking how we develop drugs to treat these pathologies. You could move on to neuropharmacology, where we look at central nervous system and diseases such as schizophrenia and Parkinson's disease. Or you may want to think about disseminating your knowledge through communication skills, so communicating science. So this is a growth area where people maybe they don't want to go into a career in the laboratory, but they're still interested in science and they want to be able to give those ideas to the wider general public. You may also be interested in being an entrepreneur and undertaking science, technology and commercialisation, so building on those skills of trying to raise capital to fund your venture. So within the MSc Pharmacology course, I've mentioned that we've got our human patient simulator. We're quite unique in that we offer computational biology, and also we have staff with pharmaceutical experience who have worked at leading research institutes around the globe. You also get an opportunity to present your research data at a mini conference to members of the faculty, and this gives you a nice idea to help you prepare for your future when you may go on and present at conferences and meetings. So the examples of project areas, we focus on inflammatory pathology such as osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, Parkinson's disease, looking at molecules such as DJ1 as a potential novel therapeutic. We also have computational biology projects, or looking at human parasitology. And like Godfrey mentioned, these topics are suggested by members of staff, but we give you the freedom, the opportunity to think about how you could try and take it into an area that interests you with relevant resources. So the practical skills you would develop, you're going to learn how to do cell culture if you undertake some of these projects, probably some molecular cloning, as well as PCR, Western blotting, and other biochemical techniques. But we'll also develop your transferable skills, being able to analyse your data, and more importantly, being able to present your data to a wider audience. So that's enough of what we've said about the course. So what do our graduates say? So I'm going to show you a few slides from recent graduates of our Pharmacology and Drug Discovery course and give you an opportunity to look at their comments. So I've highlighted a few bits in red, and one of them is caters to everyone's learning style. So we try within our lectures, we know that everyone learns at a different rate, and what we try to do is we try to give you the opportunity to put your ideas across, and more importantly, to engage with other people and to drive your own learning. We've got experience from the pharmaceutical industry, and hopefully you'll become as excited as we are with respect to research and trying to come up with novel drug targets for pharmaceutical development. This individual, she believed that she had developed a new skill set and was one of the best decisions that she had made. We also have people that do a part-time route where they've come from the pharmaceutical industry, and what this individual was able to gain from the course, thinking outside the box rather than a very limited view, being able to come up with their own ideas and becoming more innovative. And he was also pleased to see that he had full attention and support, even though he was a part-time student within the university. So again, he had a personal tutor to guide him through the relevant processes. And as I mentioned before, we have students that come from different degree pathways. So this individual came from a biochemistry background and had done very little pharmacology before she undertook the course. She thoroughly enjoyed the course, she enjoyed learning, but more importantly, she took one of our communicating science modules, and she's recently started within the medical education industry. So showing a clear process of taking the modules that we teach you to actually finding a job at the end of it.
So in terms of career prospects, this slide shows the roles that we expect students graduating from our courses to be able to do. They can work in industry as process development scientists, upstream or downstream processing scientists, strain development scientists, in quality control or quality assurance, as regulatory affairs officers, or as account managers or salesmen. Other options include lecturing at university, further study for master's research or PhD, scientific writing, and others. So examples of previous students and where they have ended up include Ronald Ngulube, shown here, originally from Zambia, who is now working as a lecturer at the Copperbelt University in Zambia. So Ronald originally studied chemical engineering, and he completed his MSc in Applied Biotechnology in 2013. Another example is Aurore Labori, who is now working as a research associate at Sekisui Diagnostics, a UK-based company that manufactures enzymes for diagnostic purposes. Aurore originally studied biology in France, and she completed her MSc in Applied Biotechnology in 2012. So if you need more information about our courses, please contact Amanda Craig, who is our admissions officer, or myself and Steve using the email addresses shown here. We will now answer the questions that you've posted to us.
We've just got two questions. So the first one is it possible to do your project within a company on these courses?
Yes, if you're undertaking a part-time route, which is what we find for most of our students that come from the pharmaceutical industry, we do actually encourage you to undertake your project within your university, with your industry, and the advantages of that is that you're able to develop something that's of benefit to the company as well. We obviously have to sign some agreements for confidentiality, but it's absolutely no problem being able to undertake your project within the company that you work for.
Okay, and the second question, and I can answer this one, do you accept an English language proficiency waiver if certified from university that I studied 3 years of bachelor's in English? Well, that would depend. It would depend on if the university itself was actually in the UK, and there's a few exceptions in some countries that you would be allowed if you did a bachelor's in English, but for the most part, if you're an international student, when you actually do apply, you'll be asked to provide an IELTS if you do not apply for being exempt from English qualifications. So another question that just came in was about the working for a project within a company. Would that be possible for full-time students?
For full-time students, the problem with being a full-time student, you would be expected to spend probably 3.5 to 4 days at the university, and unless your company is going to give you maybe a year's sabbatical, then it probably would be quite difficult to fit the number of modules that you would have to undertake in that period of time.